Are you looking to wow potential buyers with a stunning 3D tour using only your smartphone and the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro? Then this video is for you. Today we're diving into the Matterport 3D camera app. I'll walk you through the setup so you can create your own immersive 3D tour right from your phone. No fancy camera equipment needed. After we go over the setup, we'll head out to a property and capture a complete 3D scan in real time. And finally, we'll come back to check out our finished 3D walkthrough so that you can see for yourself just how impressive the results can be. Let's get started. Okay, so I downloaded the Matterport 3D app a few years ago, and I remember watching a video that showed a guy who was creating a Matterport using his phone and a broomstick. I mean, literally like I think it was an actual Matterport video. And he took a broomstick, he took the broom head off of it, or he just had the handle of the broom, and he'd put that down on the ground, kind of like a monopod, and he would hold his phone over it, and he would scan by rotating around the broom. And I thought, it's kind of weird. I can't believe that there's not a better way of doing this. And then Matterport came out with their device. I think it's called the Axis. I think it costs roughly $80, but you can set your phone in this and then it will do the scan for you using your phone. And I thought about buying one of these things, but then it dawned on me, I'm like, the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro actually spins all the way around in 360. Like there's no actual like gimbal limit. So I was like, why don't I try this? Why don't I try this out and see if this works? So that's kind of how I came up with the idea for this video, is just because this gimbal is so unique. I figured, why not kill two birds with one stone? I can use this gimbal to shoot cool real estate videos using my phone, and then I can also use it to do the Matterports as well. All right, let's get into the setup. I want to show you guys how this works. Okay, so now that we're in the Matterport app, the first thing we want to do is here at the bottom on the right-hand corner, you just want to select New Job. This is going to bring up where you can enter the address to the property. It's going to use GPS and it's going to try to guess the address that you're at, and it will get it right a lot of the times, and sometimes it'll get it wrong, but you can go ahead and you can make a correction to it. Okay, so once you have your address in, you just select Save on the top right-hand side, and now it's going to bring you into the part of the app where you can make your scans. So you'll notice right above the shutter button, it says iPhone. If I select that, you can see that you can actually use other types of cameras too, 360 cameras and other types of cameras. But since I'm using an iPhone, I will leave it on iPhone. To the left of the shutter button, where it says options, I can select that. And now this is gonna tell me the different types of scans you can do. You can do a 3D scan, a 360 capture, LiDAR scan, LiDAR complete scan, simple scan, or complete scan. So you have to make a selection from the top and a selection from the bottom. So we're gonna do a 3D scan, and then we're actually gonna do a simple scan. And the reason for that is because not everybody watching has an iPhone that has LiDAR. Now we could do a LiDAR scan, and what that does is it uses the LiDAR sensor on the phone to better judge the distance between the tripod and the wall. So it's just better at, figuring out, the estimation of the room size. But we're gonna try just simple scan for the purposes of this video, because not everybody has LiDAR on their phone. And if you were to do one of the complete scan options, what that's gonna do is it's gonna have you scan the entire room 360, and then it's gonna move up and it's gonna have you do it again, pointing up towards the ceiling. And the idea is it's gonna capture more of the ceiling and the floor. So we're just gonna do a simple scan. So I'm gonna hit done, and then we're gonna take our first scan. So I'm gonna press the shutter button, and you can see here it says point the camera at the dot. So you can see here that I'm using the joystick, and I wanna make sure that that circle is around the dot. There it is, so that's the first scan. And now you can see that it wants me to move to the right, so I'm gonna move the joystick to the right without moving the tripod at all. And I'm gonna do it again. It doesn't need to be perfect, but now it's taking the second shot. And what it wants to do after this is it just wants to be able to stitch these pictures together. So you just want to make sure that you keep everything in the exact same spot. Make sure you don't accidentally kick the tripod. Make sure that you move your hand off while it's taking the picture so you don't accidentally take a scan of your hand. And then make sure that you're behind the camera itself so you don't take an accidental scan of yourself. But if you do, there's an undo button. You can always select undo. Or if you get done scanning it and you realize that you may have been in some of these pictures, you can always delete that scan and you can just redo the scan. So we'll hurry up and do this really quick. just like that. See, I almost got my own hand for a second. I had to move my hand back, but now I have my first scan. So that's how simple it is. Now I would just move the tripod to the next area and I would get the next scan. And you want to make sure that, you know, the scans aren't too far apart, or else the app will give you a warning. And you also want to make sure that the scans make sense. So if there's like a hallway, you want to make sure that you get scans going through the hallway. Don't jump from the hallway and try to jump, you know, around the corner or too far into the next room or something like that. You want the person who's viewing the property to be able to see where the next scan is, you know, where they can view the property from next. The other thing I should mention here is that if you look in the bottom right hand side, there is a thing that looks like a line with 2 dots at the end. When you select that, you can actually tell the app where all the windows and the mirrors and things like that are. And the reason for that, here I'll add a window. The reason for that is because the app wants to know where the windows are, because the software doesn't know that that window is a window. So it might actually scan the things that are outside as if they're part of the 3D model when they're not. So that's the idea behind that. So you can see here, if I click in the middle, it'll say whether or not I'm pointing inside or outside. I want to make sure that that's pointed inside, and now I'm just going to add the window there. You can do the same thing with mirrors, and what that will do is it'll make sure that you don't have unwanted reflections. Okay, let's get out to a property and let's try to scan an entire property, and then I'm going to show you guys what the final product looks like. Okay, so this is a 1-story home. I'm going to run through this really quick. I'm going to leave my camera rolling, and in the Matterport, you're probably going to be able to see the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 posted up on different ledges and things like that. Again, this wouldn't be possible without the DJI Flow 2 Pro because of its ability to go full 360. So let's get started. And there we go, we're processing our first scan. And now you can see here on the screen, it shows a 1. That means that that's my first scan. And now we can begin walking through the house and scanning more areas. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna walk through really quick, and I'm gonna do the entire main level. And I may even go downstairs just so I can show you guys how to add that second floor. So one thing that you wanna do that I didn't really mention is you wanna make sure that you turn on all the lights in the house, which is really true for making any kind of real estate video or taking pictures or anything like that. So one thing you need to remember to do is make sure that you do the top of the stairs, and then if there's a landing, do the landing, and then the bottom of the stairs, because you'll get a warning if you do locations that are too far away from each other. So I'll get the top of the stairs really quick. Okay, so now to the bottom right, I'm gonna go ahead and select this thing that looks like a layers tab, and I'm gonna add a new floor, and then I'm gonna you can put floor 2, or you can put basement because I'm going down. You can name it whatever you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna head down. So I did the top of the stairs, I did the landings, and now I'm gonna do the bottom of the stairs. I just tried to cut some corners by jumping out to the middle of this room, and it didn't work. So now I'm gonna have to get a little bit closer to my previous scan, which is right at the bottom of the stairs. And then I'll add that scan that I was trying to get in the middle of the room. So now that we're complete, I'm just gonna tap upload on the screen. We'll select upload and upload again at the bottom of the screen. And now you'll see it's uploading the scans. Once it's done uploading the scans, I'll be able to go down to spaces, and in my spaces, you will see that it is processing. So once it's done processing, we'll jump into Matterport and we will take a look and see how things turned out. All right, so let's jump into the iPhone and take a look at what we just created. So here I am inside of the 3D camera app. I'm gonna open up the space, and as you can see, it starts out as a dollhouse, and then we will zoom through the front door. The reason why we were able to zoom through the front door and we didn't end up in like the living room or kitchen right when we entered the house is because I set my starting location. So in order to do that, you just have to go to the top right, 3 dots, select that, select edit space, and now you'll see towards the bottom left, it says start location. So you just need to go to wherever you wanna be in the house, and then you can select start location and then set start location, and it will save. And then this will be where it brings you into the house from that dollhouse view. I also want to show you guys, if you select the ruler here in the bottom kind of middle of the screen, it'll show you different measurements, ceiling height and room dimensions and things like that. And then if I was to select the 2D button down there on the bottom left, or the one that looks like a floor plan, it will give me kind of like an aerial view of the property. And as you can see here, it gives me also the square feet of the property. If I deselect the ruler, that goes away, but it still named all the rooms, which I think is pretty cool. It did that all on its own. So selecting the ruler, I can then select this plus sign, and now I can hold my thumb down on 2 different points, and it'll give me the distance between those 2 points. I have zero idea how accurate that is. I just know that it's a cool feature, but I should probably test it before I go ahead and put these dimensions in MLS or something like that. Now let's just poke around and walk through the house. So you can see here, little butler kitchen into the kitchen, and we can look around, check out the light fixtures, go over here. Should have turned that fireplace on. You can see out the windows, which is really cool. So I really feel like the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro is like an all-in-one tool for real estate. I mean, we can create talking head style videos, day in the lifestyle videos, video walkthroughs of properties. And now we can also create Matterports with this guy because it does do that full 360 and there's no gimbal limit. So I understand that this is more expensive than the Matterport Axis, but it's only like, you know, $40 or $50 more expensive, but you can do all of those other things with this tool as well. Now, one more thing I want to check out, if you look in the bottom right hand side, it shows a little VR headset. And if I select that, it'll actually allow me to open up this Matterport in my VR glasses. So I brought my MetaQuest 3 here, and we're going to try this out. All right, so if you guys are still watching this video, you definitely think I'm a nerd by now. But I have my controllers, and as you guys can see, I can just select kind of where I want to go, and then it'll take me there. So we'll go this way. And if you look around, you can look around, go into the kitchen, and we will look around. This is super cool. So gonna go through the master bedroom. Gonna go through the bathroom, through the closet. Matter of fact, we should go downstairs. We haven't gone downstairs yet. So, and the coolest part about this is that you can look around the room. This is pretty cool, guys. It's like I'm back out at the property. How cool is it that I made this from my phone using tools that I already have? Now I'm gonna bring up the pricing on my phone. One of the coolest things about the Matterport app is that they actually have a free forever plan. And so it allows you 1 space and 2 users. So for free, you can have a Matterport live at all times. So if you only have 1 listing, you can leave that Matterport live. And then if, say, you sell that listing, you can archive that Matterport. And then on your next listing, you can do another one. So really, I mean, it's free. And as long as you don't have to do a Matterport on more than 1 listing at the same time, then you're good to go. Now, a lot of us, you know, we would want to have more than 1 Matterport running at the same time. And for those people, for about $120 a year, or for exactly $120 a year, or $12 a month if you do the monthly plan, you can have 5 to 20 spaces active. So that's going to cover the majority of real estate agents, 5 to 20 spaces active at a single time, and you can have 3 users. So if you have a team, you can have 3 users using up those spaces. And for $55 a month, you can have up to 150 spaces active at the same time. And for $269 a month, you can have up to 300 spaces active at the same time. You know, really those last couple options would be for professionals that are shooting Matterports for other agents. So if you guys are photographers or videographers or just getting into that and you guys wanted a Matterport account, it's not very expensive and you could cover, you know, a handful of agents. And for those of us who are real estate agents that want to shoot these Matterports ourselves using our phone, maybe we're in an area where the marketing budget is a little bit lower and we want to contribute our marketing dollars to direct mail or professional videography or something like that. For $10 a month, you can have up to 20 spaces. Or if you're somebody who just wants to do this on occasion, you can literally do this for free, which I think is pretty cool that they allow you to have one active at all times just for creating an account. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this walkthrough of the Matterport 3D camera app inspires you to try scanning your own listings. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more real estate tech tips, and check out the next video, which you can click right here. I'll see you there.